So let's assume you are in the store and you need to choose between the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro and the Redmi Note 12 because both of them have so many similarities. For example, they are the same price point, about 115,000 naira to get either of these two phones. And also, they have almost the same in terms of specifications. In this video, I'm going to be using 6 metrics to determine which of them is better value for your money. So stick around, let's have this conversation. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Benjamin. When it comes to design, there isn't really much difference. They have the same flap sides, they have the same curved edges, and of course the same matte finishing. Now, why the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro seems a little better is the fact that it has a glass rear, while the Redmi Note 12 actually has a plastic rear. So when it comes to build quality and design, I think we're going to be giving it to the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. It just feels more better, it feels more premium, and it's just slightly better than what we have with the Redmi Note 12. Now let's talk about displays, because here is where I feel it gets a little interesting. It is a no-brainer that the Amoled display in the Redmi Note 12 is actually better than the IPS LCD display that we have in the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. And to add to it, the Redmi Note 12 comes with a Corning Gorilla Glass Cherry protection against scratches and other little dents that may want to rub off on your screen. But really, that isn't just the only thing that makes the display in the Redmi Note 12 better than the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. It has a 120Hz refresh rate, while we have a 90Hz refresh rate for the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. Of course, both have a 1080p resolution, so that means when you're watching normal video content, you may not really see the difference between the two. But when it comes to high graphics content, that is where you actually see this AMOLED display becoming more sharp and vibrant than what you will have with the LCD display. So after considering two of these metrics we want to consider, we see that we are tied at 1-1 for the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro and the Redmi Note 12. Now at this point of the video, if you consider subscribing to the channel, I'll really be glad. It will mean so much to me. And of course, like this video so that YouTube can help push it to other people to see. Now let's talk about chipset and performance, and here I actually feel we're going to be getting a tie, and that's because the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro actually runs on a MediaTek Helio G88 processor, which is like a 12 nanometer gaming processor, while the Redmi Note 12 runs on the Snapdragon 685 processor. Now when you put the two processors side by side in terms of processing power and gaming performance, you see that the Snapdragon 685 is just slightly better than the MediaTek Helio G88. Now talking about gaming performance, yesterday we had to play Call of Duty mobiles on both phones just to be able to see how much they can handle the graphics and the gaming experience on the two phones. And I can tell you they were able to handle it properly with no hiccups or glitches or whatever it is. So for those of you who left comments on my review of these phones individually, I hope I've been able to satisfy you in that aspect. So really the experience was so much more better in the Redmi Note 12 than the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. So if you're a gamer and you really want to get one of these two phones for that sole purpose of gaming with it, then I'll prefer you go with the Redmi Note 12. The processor and the graphics coupled together just give you a more better experience with it than the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. Now when it comes to Android updates, both of them come out of the box with Android 13. But going by the facts that we have on ground, we know that the Redmi Note 12 will be able to take at least 2 years of update. Now we can't say the same for the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro. Though it has a chipset that should be able to take at least 1 or 2 more updates, there are no official words from the manufacturers, Tecno Mobile, as to if those updates will be coming. So if you intend using this phone for too long, in terms of Android updates, I think we'll be tilting towards the Redmi Note 12 once again. Now both smartphones comes with a 5000 mAh battery. Now we go back to the comparison that we made of the two chipsets that runs these two phones. You discover that when it comes to battery efficiency, the Snapdragon 685 does a better job than the MediaTek Helio G88. And that was very evident when we tried to play Call of Duty Mobile on both smartphones yesterday. We tried to discover that after 30 minutes of gaming on both phones, while the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro dropped with about 20% in terms of battery power, the Redmi Note 12 dropped with only about 12%. So in terms of battery, once again, I think the Redmi Note 12 takes this one. Now both of them have a 50 megapixel main sensor. Now since basically what we do is taking pictures, here are some pictures I took with both phones side by side. Now you can agree with me here that the pictures for the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro looks really enhanced and processed. But when you look at the pictures from the Redmi Note 12, they looks more true to life. So when it comes to cameras, I don't think I will be giving it to any of them because it becomes subjective really. How do you want your pictures to be? When you take a picture, do you want it to come out really enhanced, more beautiful? Then the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro will give you that. But if you want more pictures that are really more true to life, you want a picture that comes out quite close to exactly how you are in real life, then you should be going for the Redmi Note 12. So that is personally what I think, but I would also like to know your thoughts about the cameras from these two phones in the comment section below. So at the end of it all, here are my final thoughts on these two phones. If you need a phone with a good design that gives you the iPhone vibes, cameras look like iPhone, and just gives you better in terms of the exterior design, then the TECNO SPARK 10 Pro will be a better option for you. But when you go inside, you need a phone that gives you better display, obviously, a more efficient processor in terms of performance and even battery, more realistic cameras, and of course that assures you of Android updates for those of you who intend to use the phone for long. Then of course the Redmi Note 12 will be a better option for you to get. But that is just me. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you've made up your mind on which one you want to get, then why not watch my individual reviews of these two phones before you make the purchase finally. I'll see you again in my next video. Thank you.